We have these cute little wire shelves that were very inexpensive that my wife bought to store knitting supplies in. But that cat loves to play with those knitting supplies. So I'm going to make 4 drawer type things that will slide into those little cubbies and keep the cat from getting at the knitting supplies. For this project, I actually had to buy a sheet of plywood, so I chose 3/8 AC sanded plywood and ripped it to the widths that I need on the table saw there, as you saw. And now I'm setting up a stop block on the chop saw to cut all the pieces to the correct height. There's cutting off the factory edge to get a nice clean edge, cutting the next piece. And then because it's plywood, any of the visible joints I want to miter so that they come together at a 45 so that you don't see any of the end grain laminations of the plywood. And this time I chose to do that on the table saw, so leaned the blade over to a 45 and slid the pieces through. So these are the joints that are going to meet in the front of the box. And if you get the table saw set up correctly, then this works just great. And then here are the front pieces, and instead of drawer pulls, I'm going to just drill a little hole through the front that you can reach your finger into to pull the box out of its little cubby. Sorry, I covered up the whole drilling process with my hand there. Then I'm going to take those over to the router table and round off the edges, particularly the inside edge of those finger pulls, so that anything that you touch is nice and smooth when you're handling the drawer boxes. And then it's assembly time. So there's the miter, the first miter corner going together. It's a little bit tricky to assemble these things, but as you see there, the miters are coming together. And glue and a couple of brads, and if you hold it together in the right spot, they come out nice and square. You can see how that corner looks there. And there's 4 of these, so there's a lot of assembly. And I'm going to show you the first one a little bit more slowly. There's the back going in, and I don't mind that the end grain laminations are visible in the back because you're not going to be really looking at that part of the box. So there's that one. I'm going to speed this up for the final 2. It came together pretty well, I thought. And certainly the nail gun makes it a lot easier. I'm grateful for that. I'm using 1-inch brads to hold all that together while the glue sets. And that's about it for the assembly. Then after they've had a couple minutes to dry, I'm going to take them over to the belt sander. I love this tool. This is not a super expensive one. I bought it used for about $100, but I can round over the corners and then take off any places where the joints didn't come out smooth. The belt sander is just going to take care of for me, and I really like that. So rounding all the corners, taking off any of the chunky spots, and it works out great. And then back to the router table to round over the tops of the boxes again, because this is probably a part that will get handled, and I want it to feel soft and smooth. So we're running them over the router table to round over both the inside and the outside of the top of each box. And then I'm going to stain them. This is a stain we've used for several projects in the upstairs of our house, so these are going to fit right in with some other things we've built. Let the stain dry for about 4 hours. Then a coat of polyurethane, water-based polyurethane, which dries real quick. Gonna let that dry. And then we'll hit it with the quadruple aught steel wool to smooth off the finish. Then we'll wipe them down, and in they go. That should take care of the cat messing with the yarn supplies problem. Thanks for watching.